Alrighty, folks, happy Tuesday to you. We're 3-0 in our last three extra daily picks on my premium page. We had the Sixers minus 5.5 yesterday. They pounded the Lakers by 44 points. And the good news is I have another extra daily pick going off here today for just $2.99. And of course, if you sign up for that membership here today, you're going to get access to that package every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to my daily best play absolutely free. It's going to be included with your purchase during that 30-day stretch. Essentially, you're going to get 2 premium selections every single day for the next 30 days. The math works out to be just 9 cents a day, so it's definitely something you may want to think about. Of course, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on these free videos and what I do on my premium page. Well, what I do with the free videos is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. What I do on my premium page is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays I actually like the best. And if you want to get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive chairman package. Once again, chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you also get access to my chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. I'm 4-1 in my last 5 daily best plays, 3-0 in my last 3 extra daily picks. And finally, guys, I'm 4-1 in my last 5 college basketball tier membership package picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have plays going off in all of those packages here today. It's patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, we are going to jump into some free content. We're going to start off with the Hawks at the Cavaliers. That'll be a 7:30 Eastern tip-off. Cleveland's the 4.5-point favorite. Total's 238. And for a team laying a couple of buckets here, the Cavs have been horrible against the point spread. They're just 2-7 against the number this year in the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. And they have all kinds of problems scoring late in games. They're one of the lower second-half scoring teams in the Eastern Conference. Of course, they're facing an Atlanta team who's pretty much scoring at will thus far. The Hawks are averaging more points a game than any other ball club besides one. Of course, Trae Young, he's averaging a team-best 26.5 points a night. Now, Young's also second in the league in assists per game. And teammate DeJounte Murray, he's dropping 20 points a night himself. Now, injury-wise, Jalen Johnson's got he's going to be out a handful of weeks for Atlanta. Dean Wade and Ty Jerome inactive for Cleveland. 4 out of the Cavs' last 5 outings did get over the total. Atlanta's gone 63% to the over for the entire season. Give me the Hawks plus 4.5 over 238. Next game, Hornets, Knicks, 7:30 Eastern start time. New York's 11.5, totals 221 and a hook. And for a team laying double digits in this spot here, the Knicks have struggled covering the number recently. They failed to cover in their last 3 straight, and they have a losing record against the point spread at home. And unfortunately for New York bettors, these guys really tend to start off slow. They're averaging fewer first-quarter points than any other team except for one. They're facing a Charlotte team who has little problems getting it to the hoop. Don't let that record fool you. These guys are a top 5 field goal making team in the East. And you know that back door is always open when it comes to Charlotte. These guys are a top 3-point producing team in the fourth quarter. LaMelo Ball averages a team-high 24 points a night. P.J. Washington's averaging over 14.5 points a game himself. And as a team, the Hornets are one of the best road rebounding clubs in the Eastern Conference. Now, total-wise, the Hornets have seen all of their road games this season get over the number. The Knicks are 6-3 to the over in their last 9. Give me the Hornets plus 11.5 over 221 and a hook. All right, next game, Bulls Celtics, 7:30 Eastern start time. Boston's minus 13, totals 218. And even though this number is brutal, 13 points, hate that. Don't like that. But we still got to back the Celtics in this spot here. They're undefeated at the Garden this season, and they've been deadly shooting it from long range there. Now, Jason Tatum's averaging over 28 points a game and snags nearly double-digit rebounds. Meanwhile, Jaylen Brown's averaging 21 points a game himself. When it comes to rebounding the basketball, I think it's safe to say that Boston is the best home rebounding team in the East. Now, they're facing a Chicago club on the other side who's actually quite the opposite. These guys are having all kinds of issues grabbing rebounds, especially on the road. And their biggest issue has been a complete lack of offensive production. These guys are the lowest first-half scoring team in the NBA. Now, Caruso and Levine are questionable for Chicago. Porzingis still out for Boston. The Celtics' last 3 straight stayed under the number, 8-2 to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, at the TD Garden, the under cashed in 5 of 7 games there for the Celtics this year. Give me Boston minus 13, under 218. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Bucks Heat, 7:30 Eastern start time. Milwaukee's minus 2.5, totals 226. And even though the Bucks have struggled defensively on the road, gotta say, really like this number. It's a pretty good number. And I'll tell you, the Bucks certainly have enough firepower to outscore anyone. They're averaging over 120 points a game, and they're leading the NBA in fourth quarter scoring. So, this is a team who continues to pour it on even in the final minutes. Giannis Antetokounmpo scoring just about 30 points a game, double-digit boards a night for the big man as well. And of course, Dame Lillard, he's dropping over 25.5 points a night himself. Now, the Bucks are facing a Miami team who lost their last 2 straight, and they had all kinds of problems offensively. They actually averaged just 97 points a game in those 2 defeats I just mentioned. And speaking of offensive production, or lack thereof, however you want to look at it, these guys just aren't built for a track meet, at least not as of yet in the season. Miami's in the bottom 5 in field goals made per game. And folks, just a few moments ago, I said Milwaukee scores more fourth quarter points than any other roster. Well, that's really bad news for Miami because these guys are a bottom 3 point producing team in the fourth quarter themselves. Now, even more bad news for the Heat. Butler, Robinson, Highsmith, and Adebayo, they're all questionable. And of course, Hero, he's also been ruled out. Now for Milwaukee on the other side, Chris Middleton is day-to-day with an Achilles injury, so keep an eye on him. He hasn't been scratched. He's still technically questionable, so keep an eye on his status. Now, 4 out of Milwaukee's last 7 ball games got over the total. They're actually 5-3 to the over as the road team this year. And in these teams' last 10 head-to-head meetings, the over cashed in 80% of those contests. So plenty of overs to go around if you're into historical trends. Give me the Bucks minus 2.5, over 226. All right, next ball game, Raptors Nets, 7:30 Eastern tip-off. Brooklyn's 1.5, totals 224. And as short as this number is, you still got to consider the fact that Brooklyn's 7-3 against the number in their last 10 outings. Like I said, I know it's a super short number, almost as if it doesn't exist, but still, there is a point spread there. And Brooklyn, they've been a good covering team lately. Now, you also got to consider the fact they've covered the point spread in all of their games at the Barclays Center except for one. So certainly a good thing to at least make you feel good if you're back in the Nets in this spot. Now, one of the things that Brooklyn does the best, well, it's shooting the long ball. The Nets are making nearly 40% of their three-pointers as a team, and they're facing a Toronto club on the other side who's had a tough time on the offensive end of the court themselves. These guys are one of the lower first-half scoring teams in the East, and no real shock here, they've had their issues shooting the basketball. Toronto's a bottom 5 three-point shooting team in the East. They also make just 72% of their free throws. That's nearly a league worst as well. Now, injury-wise, Smith, Claxton, and Thomas are questionable for Brooklyn. 4 out of the Nets' last 6 ball games got over the total. Meanwhile, Toronto went 4-2 to the over in their last 6 themselves. Give me the Nets -1.5 over 224. Next ball game, it is going to be Thunder T-Wolves, 8 o'clock Eastern start time. Minnesota's -3.5, totals 228 and a hook. And even though Minnesota's favored by 3.5 here, they did fail to cover recently against the likes of Sacramento, New Orleans, and the Suns. And as tough as they've been defensively, these guys have a really tough time getting on the scoreboard late. They're one of the lowest second-half scoring teams in the Western Conference. They're actually in the bottom 3 and 4th quarter scoring in the West. And they could see more of the same here today. Oklahoma City's, played equally as tough on defense in spots. And as a matter of fact, OKC has the second lowest defensive field goal percentage in the NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leads the roster in steals on defense, also ranks 4th in the NBA in points. When it comes to the scoring, Chet Holmgren's knocking down over 43% of his three-pointers. And as good as Minnesota's played at home this year, well, it's actually OKC who's 6-1 on the road themselves. And I'll tell you what, they covered the point spread in all of those contests except for one. Now, injury-wise, McDaniels and McLaughlin are still out for the T-Wolves. Minnesota saw unders recently against the likes of Memphis, Philadelphia, and Golden State. They also went 7-3 to the under in their last 10 meetings with OKC. So once again, if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. Give me OKC +3.5, under 228 and a hook. All right, next ball game, Mavericks hosting the Rockets, 8:30 p.m. East. Dallas is -4 at home, totals 229. And even though the Mavs have struggled defensively at home, I don't think the Rockets are going to be able to outscore them in this spot here. Dallas scores nearly 120 points a game, and they're making more three-pointers than any other organization in the league right now. Kyrie Irving's making 40% of his three balls, second in the lineup in scoring. And of course, Luka Doncic, he's averaging a team-high 30.5 points a game. Now, they're taking on a Houston club who's still winless on the road this year. When it comes to offensive production, well, this is a bottom 3 point-producing team in the Western Conference. Now, injury-wise, Eason, Tate, Brooks, and Van Fleet, they are questionable for Houston. Kleber's out for Dallas. 6 out of the Mavs' last 9 got over the total. 11-5 to the over for the entire season. Give me the Mavericks -4 over 229. And with that, folks, we are going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. Warriors-Kings, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. Sacramento's 2.5, totals 237. Now, the Kings have lost 2 out of their last 3. And they're starting to play some really bad defense. They're giving up more second quarter points than any other roster in the league. They're also facing a Golden State team who plays their best basketball on the road. They've won 5 of 8 while traveling, and they've rebounded quite well in those road trips. Kevon Looney snags nearly double-digit rebounds a game. Steph Curry leads the lineup in points. And as a team, the Warriors are making over 14 three-pointers a game. They're actually in the top 5 in the West in that particular category. Now, injury-wise, Keon Ellis is questionable for Sacramento. Keegan Murray's doubtful. 3 out of Sac's last 5 home games got over the number. Meanwhile, Golden State went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Give me the Warriors +2.5 over 237. And with that, folks, now it is time for our quick pick recap. Give me the Hawks +4.5 over 238. Hornets +11.5 over 221 and a hook. Boston Celtics -13 under 218. I'm 3-0 my last 3 extra daily picks on my premium page. And the good news is I have another extra daily pick going off here today for just $2.99. Give me the Bucks -2.5 over 226. Nets -1.5 over 224. Thunder +3.5 under 228 and a hook. Dallas Mavericks -4 over 229. With my next and final pick for the video. Give me the Warriors plus 2.5 over 237. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And just a friendly reminder here, guys, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman Package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.